Oak wilt is a deadly disease that is killing thousands of acres of our beautiful Texas oaks. It's an infectious disease that is caused after trimming a tree when sap-feeding beetles enter the cut carrying fungal spores that starve it out of water and nutrients, eventually causing its death and spreading to new trees. Horseshoe Bay officials have developed a campaign to help educate residents on the effects of this devastating disease, as prevention is the best strategy. Robert Edmondson, a staff biologist with the Texas A&M Forest Service, joined the Horseshoe Bay City staff for a day of on-site training and answered some of the most common questions tree owners have. One question is, how do you know if you have an oak tree?
First off, if the tree makes acorns, it's definitely an oak tree. All right. Now the thing is we have multiple species of oaks here in Central Texas. The majority of which are going to be live oak, Texas red oak, post oak, blackjack oak are going to be the most common that you run across. You can also you can visit our website, texasoakwilt.org, and I believe it's under the resources tab. We have a little one-sheeter that's got identification tools that kind of help you do that.
Homeowners should remember, to avoid the opportunity of catching the disease, the cutting of oaks, including pruning, is prohibited February through June. If there are imminent safety issues that need to be taken care of before the no prune time period is over, making as few pruning cuts as possible and immediately painting all the cuts. The least hazardous periods for pruning are during the coldest days in the winter and the hot periods in mid to late summer. If your trees are not looking their best, you may wonder if you have an infection. There are numerous resources available to help identify the disease.
Pretty much in live oaks, you'll look for a tree that usually rapidly defoliates, and then there's a very particular leaf symptom you look for. We call it veinal necrosis. It basically, the veins of the leaf die and the rest of the leaf remains green, so it kind of gives you a fish skeleton appearance.
Remember, regardless of the season, all pruning cuts and other wounds to oak trees, including freshly cut stumps and damaged surface roots, must be treated immediately with paint. This prevents exposure to fungal spores. Any type of paint, such as latex, oil-based, spray-on, brush-on, or wound dressing, will suffice. If you are pruning high up in the canopy of the tree, make your own extended paint sprayer to ensure that all cuts are being painted. We recently visited an oak wilt treatment site in Central Texas. Brothers Stephen and Mark Ashby of Oak Wilt Pros perform fungicide injections to an infected site to prevent the spread of the pathogen. If oak tree damage does not pose an immediate risk or hazard, Stephen and Mark recommend waiting till August to trim your oaks.
I mean, if it's not a risk hazard and it's not a worry of hurting anybody, I would leave it until August, and then you can get somebody out there, clean it up, and still paint, even though it's the hottest time of the year. You never know when that beetle's going to be active, so it's just better safe than sorry to always paint immediately. But yeah, if it's not a risk hazard, leave that branch and clean it up. That's more of a cosmetic pruning issue, so it just makes sense just to leave it and not have oak wilt on your property when it can destroy all your trees, essentially.
True prevention consists of not wounding your trees to give the beetle an opportunity to start a new infection.
About true prevention, it's about not wounding your trees and minimizing that risk of bringing the beetle to your property and starting a new infection. So especially right now and recovering from the freeze and freeze damage, that damage happened when the beetle was dormant, the temperatures were cold, and the risk of oak wilt was really low. And then those wounds naturally seal within a few days. So it's generally the cleanup and the ongoing efforts going forward where people are out wounding trees, wounding their oaks, making cuts without painting, and that could attract that beetle to the property.
Planting a variety of tree species can lessen the impact of the disease. It is best to plant trees that are native and/or adaptive to the local environment. Native trees also provide habitat for local bird and wildlife species. Plant a diverse selection of tree species to defend against any further forest health issues. The City of Horseshoe Bay prohibits the planting of red oaks, Shumard oaks, Spanish oaks, and blackjack oaks. For more information on the management of oak wilt, go to texasoakwilt.org. For Horseshoe Bay City resources and the ordinance on tree trimming, go to the Oak Wilt page on the Horseshoe Bay website.